And welcome back to Let's Play Mother, aka Earthbound Beginnings. Last time, we made a daring escape from Magicant and got a new friend, the somewhat weak but still well-meaning Lloyd, who has quite a bit of technical know-how, and he'll have a chance to flaunt that throughout the story. As you can see, I have actually took the effort to get Lloyd's stats built up a little bit, as level 1 is not really going to cut it for what we need to do, although arguably the more important things for Lloyd is simply getting good equipment. A gold ring, an H2O pendant, and a boomerang, and he should be good to go for a while. The most important things that we've gotten here are probably the H2O pendants. I've gotten both of those for Nifty and Lloyd. This will give us protection against fire skills, which is very, very important for the upcoming area. I'm here in the department store because I do want to take a little bit of a chance to explore Merrysville and what it has to offer for us, since we kind of just rushed through everything to make sure we got Lloyd at the end of the last video. I want to take a look at the drugstore here to remark on two notable items: the asthma spray, which can be used to treat Newton's asthma attacks, and the insecticide, which is an attack item that does good damage against insects, as you'd probably stand to reason. Both of these items are pretty situational, and I'm not going to invest in them, but you may care to have them. Note that I've mentioned this offhand, but asthma spray does not give Newton protection against further asthma attacks. It just treats one that he's suffering currently, so that is not as big a help as you might expect in the situation where asthma is something you have to deal with. I'll probably grab some more money from the ATM downstairs in order to get another piece of bread to save us some trouble later. Up here, we've got a variety goods store, and among other things, we can find repel rings here. We can also find status items such as the rope, the ruler doesn't do anything, or the stun gun, which does a weak electric attack when Lloyd uses it from his inventory. Only Lloyd can use the stun gun, so it's not really something worth caring about. If you're curious of how I built up Lloyd, since I need things to pad out the commentary while I go get more money for bread, for Lloyd, I just went to Magicant and started grinding outside the front gate near the town so I could heal up as needed at the free healing places, and then once I was able to afford a gold ring, I then went back into the Crystal Cavern, and there I was hoping to run mostly into Ulrich's and Dad's Eyes, who give out $65 and $53 respectively. Very, very worthwhile encounters to kill, especially now that Newton has a boomerang and he can just one-shot them. With the gold ring on Lloyd, he had enough defense. I didn't need to bother to queue up a guard command for him anymore. I could just hit auto battle and watch the fight win itself. If you get the family encounter, which is a Dad's Eye, a Watcher, and a Mom's Eye, that is an encounter worth over $100. Very nice. Anyways, time to meet the locals. I think the rock slide on the railroad tracks could be blown up with a Duncan factory rocket. Well, thank you for directing us to where we need to go. Always important to talk to the NPCs in these old games to make sure you get the insight on what needs to be done. Duncan Enterprises plans to build a strip joint here. No one in town likes the idea of that at all. Do you mean like a strip mall or a strip club? Anyway, this guy over here is pretty notable. Excuse me, could you answer this questionnaire? For sure, for sure. Do you think the train tickets are too inexpensive? Oh, believe me, it's ridiculous. Have you used the bullhorn? I would not, even if I could, but literally speaking, no. Thank you for your cooperation. In exchange for your time, this telephone card is for you. We get the, well, telephone card, a very, very strange item. The telephone card, use this handy card to charge your phone calls. You can use it as a payphone to bypass the $1 fee to utilize the department store payphones. You do have to literally use the phone card from your inventory. You won't just automatically use it when you interact with them. I believe it actually has a limit on how many calls it can charge also, which is 50, which way more than you will ever use. Honestly, it's not a very useful item since the phone calls are only $1 anyway, so I'm just gonna toss it out. I tell my kid to study, then play Nintendo games. Those are the rules around my house. Yeah, so strict, so strict. Maybe you should just get him an educational game. I hear Mario is Missing is pretty good. Coming this fall, Duncan's Debutantery. Financing by, architectural by, construction by, The Duncan Company, Inc. Probably referring to that strip joint of nebulous purpose. You look so happy all the time. Well, actually, I gotta say, Newton looks pretty blasé, and Lloyd just kinda looks constantly surprised. Now, most of the kids in Twinkle Elementary don't really have anything interesting to say, so I'm not really gonna bother to talk to them, but something that is worth noting in Twinkle Elementary is that as soon as the lab gets blown up, and you can literally walk right back in and it'll be cleaned up, this guy occupies it. I'm the mysterious teacher. Secretly, I live here. Okay. I need money for research. Care to buy an invention? Okay, well, let's take a look at what you got. Please take a look at the price list. As you can see, we've got a variety of impressive sounding items here. All, 2 of these are joke items. 2 of them actually have function. First off, we've got the last weapon here, which I'll demonstrate both the last weapon and the real rocket later, what exactly they do, but these are the 2 joke items. Over here, we've got the super bomb.
The super bomb. The super bomb.
The super bomb replicates the PK Fire Omega spell, which is a fire-based instant kill to all enemies, and as long as the enemy is not flatly immune to fire skills, PK Fire Omega will just immolate them and cause you to win the battle. Very powerful skill, very powerful item in theory, but at $1,800 a pop, not particularly worth breaking your bank over. I wouldn't recommend getting too many of these. I only ever bought one just for the fun of using it. And then we've got the Sticky Machine. The Sticky Machine is like the slime generator from Earthbound. It is a reusable item that attempts to bind enemies. I'm not sure how well it actually works or if it can even break. Please drop in any time. I'm always working on a new invention. This guy never has anything new to sell you, as far as I'm aware. Possibly an unimplemented feature. Maybe they couldn't figure out how to work it, or perhaps due to the fly-by-night development of this game, they just never really remembered the guy. An awful creature beat me up. If you're going to the station, watch out. Indeed, there are a lot of nasty enemies on the way to the station. I heard the curfew in Podunk has been lifted. You know what that means, don't you? We can cross the bridge once more. And indeed, I'm not going to show it, but the west exit of Merrysville connects to the bridge that we came across on the east end of Podunk, allowing you to return home and use a mini storage service if you'd rather not go back to Magicant. I got this from Duncan's factory in the north. You gonna tell me what it is? I wonder if we can telepathy this guy. There are some NPCs you can telepathy. Unfortunately, no. So never discount the option, but sadly, all too often, you get absolutely nothing from attempting telepathy. Who are you talking to? Well, this fine lady here. My husband is an important man at Twinkle School. He never eats lunch. Is that why he's important? I've heard many scary monsters lurk outside town. I'm so afraid that they'll take my money away. They will indeed. They will indeed. If you get beaten up, they will take half your money. Only half, though. Have you been to Sweet's Little Factory? Yes, I have, actually. They manufacture bottle rockets there. Infinite bottle rockets, in fact. Over here, we've got a police officer doing his rounds. What happened to school? You have school, don't you? Well, I don't go to this school specifically. Lloyd is kind of on the lam right now. Big rocks block the railroad. The train cannot pass. Why don't we go say hi to Sawbones Benny while we're in the area? Remember that if you need to pick up someone who is incapacitated, you must talk to the nurse instead of the doctor. First show me your money, then I'll treat you. Well, in your case, I'll have to bill $0 for your treatment. This special price was set just for you. Okay, thanks for the $0. You are now cured. Go get hurt again and come back soon. So it seems like Sawbones Benny doesn't really understand this whole business thing, but in fact, he always charges half your money. So if you have no money, well, either half a zero is zero. I'd like to be a doctor and help sick people. And make lots of money doing it. Sawbones Benny is not the one you should model your career after. Don't follow his methodology, because we kind of just got free healthcare there. I've heard that in Duncan's factory up north, they've started building huge rockets, and that is going to become very important in the very near future. How can we get the big rocks off the railroad tracks? I'll bet the mayor leaves them there till election time. I would feel like if he wanted to get the good grace of the people, he'd take care of them now, but whatever. Get to school. You're a schoolboy, aren't you? Not presently. I've got more important things to deal with. Hello, good sir. I heard about some weird things over in Podunk. Oh, you wouldn't believe. Heard a zombie was kidnapped. Animals roam the city streets. All kinds of crazy stuff. Think you might be getting your locales mixed up, but perhaps I'm getting ahead of myself here. Welcome to Merrysville. Podunk to the west and Union Station to the north. That will be our ultimate goal, but as people were saying, a rock has blocked the tracks, so we can't exactly get on there yet. Heading out, we run into a bag lady here. Bag ladies are actually a very, very desirable encounter to see. They are worth a ton of money to put down. I don't think we're actually killing them, but you know what I I mean. They are worth $150 a pop. Unfortunately, they are a relatively rare encounter, and there are much more dangerous enemies here. Here we get another level up for Ninten, so desirable. So our goal is actually north, but real quick, I am going to just hike down south, just a little bit, because I want to check out the tunnel that the train tracks connect to. You are actually permitted to walk into the connecting tunnel, just a little saucer here of the train tracks feed into. So we're going to check that out and find out why exactly we are stonewalled from doing that. You know, I should probably go over some of the PSI powers that Ninten has learned. We've got Healing Beta here, which I'm actually not sure what that cures. The only healing spells I've ever really used are Alpha, Gamma, and the Super Healing spell. We've got PSI Shield Alpha. This puts up a PSI shield on a single character. Note that that is a shield made of PSI, not a shield against PSI attacks. PSI Shield just flatly halves all incoming damage. We also got the relatively useless quick up buff, because it's just not really worth it to up like Lloyd's speed or anything, and you just want Ninten to be faster by things by default. Having to spend a turn casting quick up kind of defeats the purpose of having good speed, because you just want it to go first to begin with. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Remember, the smash attacks are defense piercing. That's actually very good luck that we got 2 bag ladies there. Ooh, and free hamburger. Not that we really need it because we have the big bag. Anyways, heading into the rail tunnel. As you can see, very dangerous encounters here. This Gavilan from Yucca Desert. Yucca Desert is a late game area, and we stand no chance against this guy right now. So I'm going to hit the 4th D-slip immediately. Ooh. Okay, oof, that was good. We could have had problems there if Ninten had become immobilized, and we are just going to immediately leave those tunnels. You can get your way through the tunnels, and in fact, it is possible to fight your way through the tunnels and recruit Anna before destroying the rock on the train tracks. Thus, if you are really enterprising, even getting her before you recruit Lloyd. Oh boy. I am glad that we are done with the major grinding that we have to do, is what I would like to say, except we are going to be getting Anna at the end of this video. Ah, here we go. Maniac Truck. These automobile enemies can puff exhaust at you, throwing Ninten into an asthma attack. If Ninten is suffering from an asthma attack, there is nothing you can do about that except use asthma spray. Thankfully, they don't always puff exhaust, but yeah, you have to use asthma spray to cure the asthma attack, and unfortunately, it does not give you protection against future asthma attacks. Like I said earlier, you can be repeatedly struck with asthma. So here is the boulder that was previously mentioned to us, and now we are on our way to fight a Psycho Truck. I actually dislike these guys in particular because they very, very frequently use exhaust, but luckily, we're getting pretty good luck there. Note that the exhaust also deals 30 damage that you cannot resist against, though you can guard against it to have it. Not that you should really assume that they are going to use the exhaust, you should just hope that they don't. You know, I just realized I'm walking all this way and I kind of forgot to use my bread here. We should probably put this down, although it would be wiser to put it in the town. That's okay, because I do have some stuff that I want to cover in Mother anyway. Let me use up this hamburger here, and let me get that phone card out of my inventory, because I'm never going to use that. Matter of fact, let me get rid of this stupid bottle rocket. Bottle rockets, again, only deal 20 fire-based damage to a single target. Not worth using at all. Throw away the phone card. Remember that you can drop breadcrumbs anywhere. You don't have to drop them at the entrance of a dungeon. Ninten found a pass that someone left behind. Ninten picked up the pass. Interesting. Let's take a quick look at that and see what it is. Printed on it, Duncan Factory, employee. Well, conveniently, we're going there right now, so if we have an employee pass, we might be able to get in uncontested. Granted, Sweet Littles didn't really have much in the way of security either, so I'm not sure we need to about running into problems with the people who work there, but hey, better safe than sorry, right? You may be thinking I'm going into the next area with rather worryingly low PSI points, but we have the big bag, and I have not used a single herb from it yet, so we may as well use that for our main source of healing. This factory is Mr. Duncan's private property. Let's see your pass. Well, I happen to have one here, my good dog? My dog? Well, anyways, given the pass, this pass is expired. You must have stolen it. Suspicious creature. Look me in the eye. And then he does a little dance of suspicion for us. And yes, you must beat up the dog in order to get into the factory. Funnily enough, he is just a stray dog. I almost feel like this might be a mistake, because there are stronger enemies that use the dog sprite. Well, whatever. Alright, time for one of the most infamous areas in the game, Duncan's factory. This place is huge. Thankfully, like a lot of old school RPGs, it is scarier than it looks scarier than it actually is. Once again, big shoutouts to Starfighter76, a prolific image and map contributor since 2002 with 5,000 plus maps created. He has a pretty good map of this area, and we've got our first enemy here. Dr. Distorto, well, first enemies, Dr. Distorto and the old robot. Dr. Distorto is pretty funny. He can attempt to run away, but he can also boost his offense, making him pretty dangerous, and oof, that's bad. I'm actually going to heal that damage there. The old robot is a pretty powerful enemy. He has enough strength to deal upwards of 30 damage to our characters, and he has PK Beam Alpha, which will guaranteed deal 30 damage. A lot of the enemies in Duncan's are a lot more dangerous than anything we fought up to this point. I kind of like to focus Dr. Distorto, though, just because I know I can take him out in a single turn, while the old robot is just sturdy enough that he might actually survive a single round of attacks. Now, inside the Duncan's factory, there are a number of items that we would like to collect. I'm only going to focus on the most important ones, but there are a pretty good number of items you can end up finding here. I believe this is the first room that I want to hit up, and inside this present here is a quick capsule. We are going to immediately pop that onto Nintendo to make sure that he can outspeed anything we potentially run into. Get 5 extra speed in there. And with here, we get the physical capsule. Like the previous one I got, I'm actually going to be saving that one. And inside this one, there is a wisdom capsule. Now let me double check my item list here. I am looking for... Okay, fortunately, the route I plan to take also has another capsule on it. It really does not matter who the wisdom capsule goes to, because I don't really use ailment spells too often, and debuffing spells for that matter either. But I may as well just use it on Nintendo, since Lloyd already has a great natural wisdom stat. Now... oh, here we go, the bomber. This guy is such a jerk. He has a AI roulette, like so many other enemies in the game, really, but he has one of 3 actions he can do. He can fall over, essentially doing nothing. He can attack you for 1 measly point of damage, or, if we're really unlucky, he can chuck a bomb at you. Here we go. If you do not have an H2O pendant, that bomb will deal upwards of 60 damage to you. It isn't likely that he's going to use it. He has 2 waste his time actions, but if he does use it and you don't have an H2O pendant, you will take some serious damage. And this guy, more than any other enemy, will chip you down and put you in bad situations. And obviously, you need to, just to make sure to account for the variance and damage rolls, you really want to have over 70 HP when dealing with him. If you don't have the H2O pendants. If you have just 1 H2O pendant on Nintendo, just have Lloyd guard to make sure that he doesn't take the huge damage. Another fire-based enemy here. This guy, Fireball, just uses PK Fire Alpha. That is a much more reasonable, but still pretty significant 20 damage to everybody, roughly 20 damage to everybody. With our H2O pendants in tow, it's not anything too concerning. I want to make sure that Lloyd stays at high HPs here, because if he gets just glanced with a smash attack, it is a serious disaster for us. While we're getting into this fight, hey, another Dr. Distorto and another old robot. Unfortunate, unfortunate. Let's get Dr. Distorto taken out of the picture first. And yeah, you can see he can still hit pretty hard on Lloyd. So, fortunately for us, the old robot here, also pretty light on hit points, so we should be able to take him out. Here comes the PK Beam Alpha, just a guaranteed 28 to 30 damage, thereabouts. Just something that we're going to have to suffer. Now, what I was trying to say before we got into the encounter is that there are 2 routes that you can take through the Duncan's factory. You can go the left all the way, you'll have to go down a little bit, then go up as far as you can go, and then at that point, you will start going right, then cross over to the left once again. Or you can take the path to the right, which gets you a ladder that directly leads to the part where you'd cross over if you took the left route. There are a bunch of items on the left path, but none I particularly care about, so we are going to be taking the right route. So what I want to do Oh, just an old robot on Slowsome. I can just auto-battle through this guy. Of course, there is always the chance that he'll get a smash attack on Lloyd, and the reason that is bad if that happens is because we need Lloyd to be alive once we reach the end of the dungeon. If he is incapacitated, he will not be able to do what we need him to do for us. You can come here without Lloyd, but we have, at the end of this dungeon, the one thing that makes Lloyd a mandatory recruit for this game. Again, I'm only going to be getting the items I care about, so I want to be taking this route over here. Let me see. Am I misreading this a little bit? Have I gone too far? Oh boy. Oh wait, I know where I'm going wrong here. I want to go over here real quick. Yeah, I crossed onto an early ladder. What I'm looking for is over here, actually. It should not be... No, it is this one. Haha, guess who got hit with another bomb there? Very frustrating. We are almost assuredly going to exhaust the big bag by the end of this dungeon. Remember, 30 magic herbs will go faster than you expect, especially when we're splitting them between two characters. Inside this room here, we'll find a very interesting item. The Super Spray. This is a super buffed version of the insecticide, dealing very, very good damage. I believe... Ah, new enemy here, Scrapper. A more durable but weaker version of the old robot, though it can still use PK Beam Alpha. There's Dr. Distorto throwing himself into a rage, and there comes the PK Beam Alpha. Man, Lloyd is getting bullied here. I'm actually going to have Lloyd just guard for the rest of this battle, potentially healing him if he takes another hit, because I can't guarantee that he'll survive a second PK Beam. Ooh, yeah, I definitely see the 17 damage there. So we'll just take out another... luckily, Newton is first in the action queue and not second. We'll heal up Lloyd. Not gonna have him guard there because he would survive no matter what was done. As you can see, the Scrapper can throw up his guard to mitigate attack damage. Okay, so that is, with those capsules we got earlier, that is the second of the items I actually want to grab here. Now that I know more precisely where I am, we are going to be taking this ladder right here and going up, 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 up. So we are going to have a quick succession of actually 4 ladders that we need to take up. After the 4th one, though, we need to pivot a little bit and start going left. So want to head up over this way, get this ladder, and we just, for a little bit, want to double back. This won't lead us to the end of the dungeon, but it will lead us to an extremely critical item. We want to go into this right door over here, and inside this room, you will find something so important. A Franklin badge. Yes, a second Franklin badge, and the last Franklin badge of the game. If you want to have more than one character immune to being toasted with PK Beam Gamma, you'll want to have the second Franklin badge. We're going to stick it in Lloyd's inventory for now, just because, well, obviously it doesn't really benefit Nintendo to have 2 of these, but we will ultimately be giving it to Anna, because Anna will have the ability to revive people, and obviously the ability to revive people is obviously so much more useful when you have more avenues to stay alive yourself to actually revive other people. Technically, Nintendo can also eventually get the ability to revive people, but it is so deep in his, into leveling him up. I believe it's in the high 30s when Nintendo finally gets that ability, that you can just beat the game. What the heck, I'll just keep going with the commentary. You can just beat the game well before you ever will learn super healing in order to revive people, so I don't really consider, or think you should consider that for your plan to get through this game. Alright, heading up this ladder here. We are actually almost at the top of this dungeon. We have just one more ladder to climb up. Going to preemptively use some of the big bag herbs here to keep ourselves topped off. I've probably burned through a bunch of these. I haven't been actively counting how many of these I've been using, but I have been, I am reasonably confident that I haven't used enough that we're going to run out just this moment. And if I do, I should still have enough PSI points to do any life up alpha that I need. Lloyd got a level up there and got one of his rare speed gains, which is something that we always take. Definitely the most desirable encounter you want to run into is the Scrapper, just a lone Scrapper, because the Scrapper's easily the least threatening. Possibly you could make the case that running into the Fireball is a little bit more desirable, just because it's weak damage, but it is weak damage to 2 characters. At least it's weak damage if you have Man, Lloyd has been getting bullied hardcore this dungeon. Like, everybody has been targeting this poor kid. It's bad for him. It's been brutal. He's dying 1,000 deaths out here. Not literally though, thankfully. Thank you, old robot, for wasting your turn. But yeah, just a single scrapper. You want to, if you're just trying to get through here, you mostly just want to run into those. If you don't have H2O pendants, definitely the worst thing to see is a bomber. If you do have H2O pendants, they're just kind of annoying. Every level up that Ninten gets here, every little bit of extra fight he gets is so precious, because if he can just, get rid of, like, a Dr. Distorto in a single attack, that is just much appreciated. Alright, so this is the final ladder we need to ascend. Our final destination for this dungeon is actually to the west, but we want to just quickly, pivot to the east here in order to check this present. This has the last item I care to grab, the Force Capsule. We're going to use that on Ninten, because that'll get him a good boost of PSI points on his next level up. You could actually make the case for saving this for Anna, because while Anna does end the game with the most PSI points possible, she does not start with a ton of PSI points, so getting her an extra early boost can actually be pretty useful, especially if you commit to grinding her a lot more than I'm probably going to. So that's just something that you could consider. However, using the Force Capsule on Ninten will probably get us an extra usage of Fourth D-Slip by the end of the game, and that is so important. Here we are getting a couple of lucky bomber encounters, which I am thankful for. I do not enjoy, I do not relish the opportunity to just pop multiple magic herbs in order to undo the damage that I just took from them. That was a Dr. Distorto encounter, and he just ran away like a wuss. Kind of annoying, because it was a Distorto and a Scrapper, which is definitely the less threatening variant that you can run into. Hey! I was just talking about you guys. Let's see if we can't take them out. We are actually at the point where Ninten may very well get a damage roll where he takes out Dr. Distorto in a single attack. As you can see, that was what I was talking about there. When the Scrapper throws a single physical attack, so much less threatening than when the old robot does it, which is capable of doing damage. The only thing threatening that the Scrapper can really do, and also Lloyd has been doing quite well with the smash attacks, the only thing threatening the Scrapper can really do is PK Beam Alpha, which he only has a 1 in 3 chance of doing, so way more desirable to encounter than the old robot, definitely. For once, it was actually Ninten who had to suffer the 30 damage in that battle. Anyway, let's take out a magic herb and just heal that back off. Now, we have finally reached the end of Duncan's factory. This place is intimidating, but thankfully, once you know the routes through it, you can actually get through here pretty quickly. Let's take a look at this rocket, and we'll find out why we need to bring Lloyd here. Aim on the rock. Okay, 1, 2, 3, fire! And the rocket has gone, and it has actually landed in the boulders that were blockading the rail tracks. So now we can get to Union Station, and conveniently enough, the train line will already be running. With that taken care of, I'm going to make a trip back to Merrysville to get some money in order to actually, use the train. We do have to pay for tickets, unfortunately. No hero discount. So why don't we take a side glance at some of the stuff that is specific to Mother 1 while we are going back this way. The first thing I'd like to check out is a pretty funny one. So here I am at the tunnels with Ninten by his lonesome. This would be a pretty intimidating thing to go through in Earthbound Beginnings, but in the Famicom version of the game, you might be noticing something kind of odd here. We're walking, and we're walking, and we're walking. And, I'm getting really good luck with the RNG here, not getting any encounters. Man, this is the furthest I've ever gone in this game without getting an encounter, just about. I mean, I've probably had at least one instance of that, but that was insane luck. But I'm just going and I'm going and I'm going and I'm not getting any encounters. Well, that is because in the Famicom version of Mother, the tunnels do not actually have encounters in them. Now, I've said offhandedly that this game was kind of released in a somewhat unfinished state, and most of my assumptions regarding that are due to the last area of the game. But this is one of the more overt examples early on that the game might have been released in a slightly undercooked or unfinished state, because you are probably not supposed to be able to do this so easily, and Earthbound Beginnings certainly thought you shouldn't be able to do this so easily, and thus put nasty enemies in the train tracks, or in the train tunnels, that necessitated the use of the train to bypass them. with that taken care of, I actually want to take a look at the Merrysville lab once again, so let me load my save state here, and let's talk to the mysterious teacher once again. If you talk to him here, you'll notice that one of the items he's selling is a lot more expensive. That is because the super bomb does not exist in this version of the game. In its place is another joke item, the time machine. Again, once we have the money for it, we'll take a look at what exactly this does when you use it, but note that the time machine is just another money sink. By the end of the game, you will have more money than you really have anything to do with, so most of these options were really just meant as a funny way to spend your excess cash, since after a point, you're not going to be buying at anything anymore, and the enemies drop excessive amounts of money. Anyways, back to Earthbound Beginnings. Here we are at the boulder blockading the train tracks. Formerly, as you can see, the rocket has embedded itself in the, placed rocks before, and, oh god, I'm mixing up my words all horribly. The rocket blew up the rocks for us, okay, and you can see the remnants there, and now we are able to just go on by. The trains are already back in service, and hey, I can keep my thoughts going, because we got a new encounter here. Mad cars and mad trucks. The weakest variant of the car enemies, but potentially the most dangerous encounter you can get into with the cars, really, just because there's two of them. That is 2 chances for them to puff exhaust. Note that there is also psycho cars. Also, I would just like to point out, a lot of the enemies in the Famicom version of Mother do have different names. I haven't really been drawing attention to that because it's not super interesting most of the time, but I do like the names of the Psycho Truck and the Psycho Cars in the Famicom version. Devil trucks and devil cars. Hello, good sir. I heard on the radio that's a mess everywhere. At all costs, I will protect this station. Admire the dedication. I pulled out $200 from the ATM because it should be enough for incidental expenses. Anyways, time for our first train ride. Are you guys ready for a killer track? Oh yeah. And I ain't talking about the train tracks here. Remember that we've got 2 people here, so even though the price says $16, we're paying for 2, it's $32. I haven't really had a chance to go over this, but hotel prices also operate on the same principle. Anyway. Oh yeah, I love the Paradise Line theme. Such a good song. Beautiful stuff. Anyways, as you saw, we went to the town of Ringdeer. We're not actually going to go into the town right now. Instead, we're just going to talk to this sweet old lady here. Are you going to Snowman? I wasn't planning on it, but I suppose I can. I found this hat. I believe it's the property of a girl who lives there. Please take it to her. And indeed, the old lady gives us a dapper little hat. If we take a look at it, a pretty hat embroidered with the name Anna. Hey, that was the girl we had to name at the start of the game, and who I've already referenced we're going to be getting into our party. I suspect we've got a side quest coming up here, and a new party member awaits us in Snowman. Then it's $40. Yes, let's go. Note that this is as good a time as any to mention, you don't actually have to recruit Anna if you don't want to. Obviously, for all practical purposes, you want to recruit her, but it is a completely optional trip to go to Snowman. You never have to stop in Snowman. You never have to get Anna's hat. You never have to return it to her. You can completely skip Anna if you so desire. This does prevent you from getting another party member later in the game, but that guy is also optional, so it's not really that big a deal. Anyways, in Snowman, let me see. I'm going to talk to this lady here. Mom left for Youngtown. We haven't heard from her for days now. Dad and I are going there to look for her. People missing in Youngtown. Now, I'm actually going to create a save state here before I talk to this guy, because I want to just be certain, or be sure that I don't get hit with something here. I was on my way to Youngtown to look for my wife, but without the train running, how can I get there? Well, your problem has been solved, my friend. Fortunately, that was not one of the guys I was worried about. I'm a clairvoyant still in training. However, this much I can see. You shall return again to Union Station. Although I'm not completely sure. We will actually be going back to Union Station in due time, so you know what? Your psychic vision has panned out. Over here, we've got some pretty nasty enemies in and about, or around Snowman. This one, funnily enough, Bigfoot, is actually one of the least threatening ones, because he likes to use PK Freeze Alpha. PK Freeze Alpha is ridiculously weak, only dealing around 10 damage most of the time, but he does have a more threatening variant he can use, PK Freeze Gamma. PK Freeze Gamma puts you in critical condition. That means it puts you between 0, and I hear it can go as high as 10 health, but frankly, I've never seen it land any higher than 4 health at most. Basically, a stiff breeze will cause you to die once you've been hit with PK Freeze Gamma. Bigfoot, thankfully, does not use it too often, so he's not that, well, big of a deal. Let's just make a good use of the big bag while we still have it. The more threatening thing you can run into in Snowman is wolves. You definitely want to be wary of those. There's actually 2 variants. Okay, this guy I want to save state. I am just using the menu drop downs for my save states here, so that's why. You expect me to set a shortcut for that? Have you been to the ghost house in Spokane? I have not. I don't want you to go, but if you must, well, I feel like that's important. File that one away. I heard everyone in Youngtown has disappeared. Now, you may be wondering why I'm bothering to save state before talking to some of these people. Well, let me see. Anna hasn't been to school lately, so I'm so worried. There is a very particular thing to be worried about with certain NPCs. Anna's house is a chateau, not a mansion. But I'll bet you already knew that. It's not actually a chateau either, and it'll become apparent what it actually is when we see it, but I'll let you try to figure it out when we get there. Life is a game, but sometimes you have to rest. True enough, true enough. Sometimes my eyes just hurt a little bit. You kids are crazy, running around with just t-shirts on. There we go, that's what I was waiting for. If you talk to certain NPCs, you will find out that they are sick, and very rudely they will just cough or sneeze in your face. This will afflict Ninten with a cold. Cold is basically a variant of poison that ticks your HP as you walk, and will cause light damage in battle. There is a trick you can do to suss out NPCs who might potentially have colds, though. NPCs that have colds will always have at least a little bit of blue on their sprites, so be wary when talking to blue NPCs. Welcome, 250 for the night? Ah, ridiculous. Your tourism industry is never gonna boom if you're doing that. Over here is the general store. No phone in this one, but there are some interesting items to buy. Mouthwash is one of the few ways you can cure a cold in this game. Otherwise, you have to go to a doctor. Why does mouthwash cure a cold? We'll get to that in due time. You can also buy a frying pan here. A weapon for Anna, but a very weak one. It only has like a 8 attack power, and Anna can use a boomerang no problem, so don't bother getting a frying pan with her. It is a complete waste. We're not going to get a boomerang for her either directly. We're just going to pass down Lloyd's boomerang once we get him a new weapon. My grandfather lives in Yucca Desert. If you see him, please say hello for me. We'll keep him in mind. We'll keep him in mind. Bunch of blue NPCs over here. Not really worth the risk, or at the very least not worth the constant save stating to talk to. Please say hello to the camel's bones in Yucca Desert. I knew that camel once upon a time. I'll try to keep it in mind. Little strange, but I suppose I can honor a request to honor some camel's memory. Inside this house is another healer. We could get our PP restored, which, we're fine. We still got the big bag. And we have a rotary phone. Remember, it's only the pay phones at the department stores you actually have to pay to use. These rotary phones can be used just fine. This is your dad. Excuse me, I need to see the person playing this game. Okay. Hello there. I appreciate your kindness to Ninten. I am the boy's dad. Could you please let me know your name? Well, sure. Thank you for your cooperation. You get a pretty generous character limit here if you want to enter your entire name, but I'm just going to go with the tried and true here. There's my name, don't wear it out, if I can find the N. Incidentally, it's not really worth cutting to, but in the Famicom version, you also can only enter your name in English characters, which is kind of amusing to me, but whatever. Are you sure that is spelled correctly? I'm reasonably certain, or else I'm going to be very cross with my father in the near future. Thank you for spending your time with me. I too have urgent things to do, so I'd better go now. Slam. It's very easy to miss this opportunity to enter your name, but there is a chance to get a second shot at it later on in the game if you miss it here. Once you've entered your name, you can use that phone like a normal save point, but we're gonna play a little bit risky here. I could update my checkpoint to that phone, sparing myself some heartache if I get killed here, but I did just make a save state also. Here we've got a polar bear, so let's definitely just go all in on the beatdown on this guy. Ooh, that is actually some studly defense here. We might not be able to beat this guy down, so I'm going to just do, actually, you know what? Let's actually play with some degree of intelligence here. Hit him with defense down. There we go, defense decreased by 45. Should bring him into a more reasonable range. Yeah, 13. Defense is weighted at about, I'd say like 4 points of defense equals about 10 points of offense from you. As you can see, Lloyd took some damage early on in there, so I'm going to have Mean10 do the heavy lifting here, while Lloyd just tries to guard. It's nice when we're able to use a little bit of strategy in battle. I should probably use the big bag on Lloyd, just to make sure he doesn't get taken out here. We'll probably just run from any other encounters we get into, if we get into any. I could also cast a defense up on myself to mitigate the damage this guy is dealing to us, and I realized I just didn't have Lloyd guard there. Luckily, he did not get taken out, though it's not a big deal if he gets taken out at this point. We only needed him to operate the rocket, and we are going to be returning to Magicant very soon, actually. So we would be able to revive him for free if he did get taken out here. There we go. Another level up for Lloyd. As you can see, the enemies here are quite threatening and not always worth your time to take on. With their hardy defense, it's just so difficult to actually get meaningful damage against them. If only we had attacks that just operated independent of the enemy's defense. If only, if only. Alrighty. How many magic herbs do we even have? I don't know if you can check to get a count. Ooh, silver wolves, and 4 of them. We ain't messing around with this, so what we're going to do here is we are going to attempt to run away, and hopefully I don't get unlucky. I did not. Very nice, very nice. That can go very badly in a hurry. Polar bears we're definitely just going to run from. Not worth the effort to put down. I might actually use my Psi Stone here just a little bit to be sure I can use 4th D slip. We're going to get plenty of PSI stones later in the game, so you know what? Just to err on the side of caution, we will give ourselves a little bit of PP. That's actually the least I've ever seen from, the lone wolf. This is the wolf variant I was talking about. This guy is much more potent than the silver wolves. As you can see, he was able to deal 17 damage through Lloyd's guard, so very nasty enemy to take out. Also, sorry if you are susceptible to high-pitched noises there. The 4th D slip there is a little loud. As you can see, we finally used up our final herb from the big bag, so we're in a bit of a rough spot here. Fortunately, a single use of the PSI Power Stone is enough to give us enough PP to perform 4th D slip again. A chateau, eh? The iconic stained glass windows of chateaus. My daughter, Anna, has never been a brave girl, but she is kind of hard and has a secret strength. I can only imagine what that secret strength is. You have appeared just like in my dream. The boy in my dream looked just like you. Well, did he also happen to have a dapper hat like this? Are you Mean10? Yes, indeed. Guilty as charged. I must go on a trip to find my mom, and I needed your help. So I've been waiting for you, Mean10. First, let's go see what is happening in Youngtown. Daddy, goodbye. Next time, Mommy will come back with me. Believe in us. Now, Anna there actually referenced Youngtown, and you know what? We'll wrap back around to that in a little bit. What I'm going to do right now is talk to the father here. The father in 2 senses. I know his success will be yours in the end. Surely our pleas will be heard in the near future. For now, just have a peaceful sleep. Oh hey, he fully heals us. Saves me the trouble of having to do that in Magicant, I guess. I must stay here with the people of Snowman. Please take care. Now, what we're going to do, if we try to walk back to Snowman, we probably could have placed bread to get back there, and that would have given me an opportunity to, let's give the Franklin badge to Anna right away, to, get some money, but we are instead just going to use the Onyx hook immediately to take ourselves back to Magicant. If we try to walk Anna back through the minefield that is the path to the chateau, she will almost certainly be mauled to death by wolves on the way, and like Lloyd, she joins with no equipment. As you can imagine, our goal right now is to actually get some equipment for Anna. We also have our physical capsules to give her. Anna is the one that I want to save these for. These will give her an extra 20 HP once I use both of them on her, so let's make sure I actually use them on Anna. And yes, got the 5 right there, so a big HP boost is guaranteed next level up Anna gets. We also want to, once again, use telepathy on the cat in the ground here. This magic ribbon will give strength. Magic ribbons are only for girls, and if you have Anna in the party, he will slide it into her inventory. Anna's magic ribbon, like Lloyd's magic candy, is a stat-boosting item specific to her, this time giving a 4 to 5 point increase to her force stat, giving her more PSI points to work with early on. Sadly, Ninten cannot do up his hair with a pretty ribbon. I think if he just grew it out a little bit, it would work out. There we get our first level up for Anna. Anna gets very, very low fight gains. 0 to 1 like Lloyd does for speed, but Anna can get, I believe it's 0 to 2 speed, possibly 1 to 2 speed, so she quickly becomes faster than Lloyd, and more defensive by extension. However, her strength is lower than Lloyd, meaning she has really bad HP under normal circumstances. But if we give her the physical capsules, that'll guarantee her about 20 extra HP, making her that much more survivable. In general, Anna would be more defensively viable than Lloyd, if not for the fact that smash attacks are defense-piercing attacks. We're also going to take out our physical capsule here, of course. Give it to Anna. I don't specifically need it in her inventory, as we saw earlier, for her to use it, but it's easier to remember to use it on her when she is the one specifically holding it, so let's give that to her. And now, once again, it is time for us to do a little bit of training, but not that much. What I need to do is get the money to buy a gold ring, a magic coin, and an H2O pendant for Anna, to give her the best defenses possible. We will eventually want to get magic coins for Lloyd and Ninten, but going into the next few areas, enemies will be worth a lot more money, and we will be very easily able to secure the funds to get them the defensive equipment they need. I'm going to preemptively buy a golden ring for Anna, just so I can immediately start training in the Magicant Cavern without having to manually have her guard and avoid damage from attacks. And now, most people at this point return to the Union Station and start taking care of everything in Reindeer, Spookane, and, well, not Snowman, but everything in Reindeer and Spookane. I, on the other hand, have changed up my own route personally, and we are actually going to immediately follow up on Anna's desires. Next time, we're going to be making our way towards Youngtown. Look forward to it. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, though, goodbye.
I don't dispute the doubts you've outlined, but it's my right to waste your time.
Well, there's bombs in the game. Why can't that bomb look like a bomb?
Fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah, I know.